at the exterior of the home right now. I'm going to point out a few things that will be noted in the report. We do have multiple locations, plumbing penetrations, hose bibs that should be caulked and sealed up around the perimeter of the home. Multiple locations of corner pops. Again, we just recommend a parge coating or a mortar, some type of sealant, just to prevent any additional cracking of your foundation wall. Just kind of an FYI, our lintels above the garage doors and windows should be painted regularly to prevent any type of expansion and cracking. We're also going to note multiple locations of rot conditions. Primarily around surfaces are going to see moisture, such as your roof covering and the base of doors. Seeing a few examples of minor mortar line cracking. Nothing that's appearing to be structural at this time. See an example of that rot. Another example of a corner pop. Not a whole lot to speak to on the front. Do see a protruding nail here poking out of foundation wall. Would be a good idea to cut that off and seal it up to prevent foundation cracking and potential injury. Another area of caulking and sealing maintenance. You're going to see that around windows as well. Also another area where it looks like some rot. Some areas around our siding joints should be caulked up and sealed. Some areas look like they might have been painted over rot. Would recommend looking into that a little bit further and potentially replacing some of your trim. Another example of a rot condition. Looks like wood is deteriorating a little bit around our window ledge as well. Also want to point out we are missing a splash block here, so we want to divert that moisture away from the foundation wall. Also going to see some areas of a parge coating, which is fine, but it appears to be failing, so probably want to maintain that. That does assist in keeping moisture and whatnot out of imperfections in the foundation wall. Backside rear, it appears to be sloped a little bit towards the structure itself, so would recommend regrading to allow that runoff to occur away from the foundation. We will see some other areas of rot in the back and also around the bottom of our door trim. We are missing a backflow preventer on this exterior hose bib at the rear. Also needs to be caulked and sealed at the wall. Windows overall are pretty aged. Some are missing plastic trim. Looks like they're original windows. Would recommend replacing at some point in the future for full function. Our roof, we're seeing a satellite dish. That's never really a great idea because typically they don't seal down those heads and it becomes a point of moisture intrusion. Have some raised flashings, a couple of locations in the back. Right there. Some high soil conditions in the rear and on the right side of the home. Another example of a popped corner. Down here we'll see an example of an exposed post-tension cable end. That should be caulked and sealed, or a parge coating would do fine just to prevent the expansion of the material. We also have, here's our condenser unit. We are missing insulation on our refrigerant line. Also have a rusted filter there. This unit is R22 original 2004, I believe this model is. So while it might not be original to the house, it is aged. So would recommend potentially budgeting for replacement. Aside from that, that's pretty much all we're going to have to discuss on the exterior. There'll be more details and recommendations in the report.